Hello and welcome to my channel. So I've not been active on YouTube since Vlogmas, which led me to asking on my Instagram stories some questions to try and get me back into the flow of making content and taking YouTube a little bit more seriously. If I want it to be my career, better start treating it like one. So let's start with the first question that I got, which I thought would be an appropriate one to start off. Who are you and what do you do? So my name is Bethany Ann Keane. I live in Stockport in Manchester, and my current full-time job is a dog walker. So I walk all the dogs in my area. It's a fantastic job, gets me outside. It also means that I can care for my partner because he's got additional needs, as do I. I'm also a mum to a little boy called Zach. He is now 7. He is 8 this year, which makes me feel absolutely nauseous. And I'm also a dog mum, which is all the noise you can hear in the background is dogs. I have 5 chihuahuas and a pug cross. We've also got a cat, a tortoise and some goldfish. Oh, and Zach has a hamster, which we always forget about because all he does is sleep and run on a wheel. I'm in my 30s, if that makes a difference to people. I'm 32 this year, and I'd say it's probably the best era of my life that I've had so far. I'd always say to people that your 30s are the exact same as your 20s, apart from you now have grown up money and you now have the confidence to be who you actually want to be, which is fantastic. You find your feet in your 30s, I think. So my next question was, why did you start YouTube? It's not just YouTube that I've started posting on YouTube, obviously. I've started posting really regularly on TikTok, which I finally got to the elusive 10k club over there with my followers, but I find it quite hard to get engagement on there, and I would like to make more longer form content and vlogs and things, as well as short form content. I'm also active on Instagram. This is all under the same name of The Beth Keane, and I would like to use my Instagram to create some more UGC, user generated content, as I really enjoy photography at the moment. The reason as well that I started YouTube, I'd like to document a bit more. It's nice to look back and have the memories. I would really enjoy just a more creative outlet. I have a lot of education in media and I just don't use it, so it'd be nice to, even as a hobby, to be able to use it a bit more and just sharpen up my video editing skills. It's just fun. That is why I started YouTube. Fun and to connect with others, basically. And the next question was, who are your biggest inspirations? This comes as no shock to the people that know me. My biggest inspiration is Helen Anderson, who is also a YouTuber. She is a vlogger. I've watched her since 2014, I think, maybe a bit earlier, when I was at university, and she just really resonated with me. I basically was like, I was watching her and it was like I was watching myself. I really, really resonate with her. And the way that she has managed to make, oh Frankie, sneeze it out. The way that she has managed to make her creative hobbies into a career is absolutely fantastic and really inspirational, and it's given me the confidence finally to just have a go myself. I would say the other people that inspire me probably would be Adam Sandler, Fern Cotton, Ellie Middleton, for definite now. I've read her books and they were fantastic. And in the dog world, probably Victoria Stilwell inspires me in that area. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? That was quite a good question I got on Instagram. I see myself as being able to potentially make this into a full-time career, because I would much prefer to be able to use my creative skills over walking of the dogs, but I would never give that up. It is fantastic for my mental health and I really enjoy connecting with the dogs owners, and I've got some really good relationships. Yeah, there's one I've been walking for 5 years now, and I'd never give that up. But in 5 years I would like to see myself in this same house, the decorating finished, and yeah, having a creative career as a job, not just dogs, because I feel as though people see me as the dog lady, which is fantastic. That is mostly my personality, but I'm not just the dog lady. I have a lot more facets to my personality, and I'd like to express those and let people see them. And see who the real Beth is, not just the crazy dog lady, you know? That'd be quite nice. I'd also like to be able to take Zach on his first proper holiday in 5 years. Not necessarily Disneyland. I know Disneyland's like the goal for most parents. I would love to take him to Disneyland, but it's you know, it is quite a big ask, that one. But just abroad, you know, he loves America. You know, he watches a lot of YouTubers that are American. One's called A for Adley, and she's this little girl in America, and he loves what America looks like to him. So, you know, I would love to be able to fulfill that for him, you know, or even if it was just in England, if we managed to go to somewhere, you know, in a little caravan or something, anything, just to take the boy on holiday. He really deserves it. I was blessed with a fantastic child, and he really does deserve the world, to be honest. So that would be another goal. Be debt free, that would be quite nice. In my 20s, I built up quite a lot of debt through just the way that I live my life. I moved house a lot. I was undiagnosed at that point. I've now been diagnosed with ADHD, which meant I did a lot of impulsive spending. So to be debt free, house decorated, first holiday, creative career, those would be my goals, I would say, in the next 5 years. Oh my gosh, and to drive. I've been trying to learn to drive since I was about 24. I was a late bloomer, and since the age of 24, there's always been something that stood in my way. But I suppose being debt-free and learning to drive sort of go hand in hand. What is your go-to self-care routine? If this is in terms of skincare, the skincare that I tend to use is the Inkey List. I am a 32-year-old woman this year, blessed with cystic acne. I have really, really bad acne. I'm actually medicated for my acne. I have Epiduo, which is this gel that you put on your skin. I've tried antibiotics and pills and all sorts in the past, but they don't seem to work. I need more topical treatments. But on top of that, I do need to have an incredibly astringent skincare routine. So I tend to use the Inkey List. They don't have a lot of ingredients, you know, they don't mess with your skin too much. It seems quite gentle. But failing that, if I can't get a hold of that, good old Simple, you know, Simple is a really good one, but it can be quite drying. I've noticed there seems to be quite a soapy makeup, soapy ingredients in their skincare, so it does dry my skin out quite a lot. So skincare wise, Inkey List. But if you need if you're asking like what do you do to wind down in your self-care routine, usually what I do is I will go for a bath or a shower. That is incredibly important to me when decompressing. As somebody that's neurodivergent, you do need to take that time to decompress every day, and I can be in the shower for sometimes 40 plus minutes decompressing just from the day. You know, that's where I process my thoughts the best. So I will usually take a bath or a shower, put on some clean pajamas. I'm a massive like button-up pajama fan, so I'm so glad that these are now coming into fashion and there's so many different patterns. So yeah, I get into my little old man pajamas. Herbal tea, I'm a massive fan of Pukka nighttime tea, Pukka 3 mint. I love a mint tea. So Pukka tea, and just sit on the couch with my dogs. I love to read. I struggle with reading at the moment. I struggle to concentrate, but I have joined the book club in Edgeley. And the first meeting's tomorrow, Friday 7th. We have read Normal People by Sally something, I can't remember her name. It's like Sally Cotterill, I think. And we've been given a few like questions to discuss in the book club. I've never been part of a book club before, ever. I've done a lot of reading groups, but not like a proper book club, so it's quite exciting. And it's with women my own age who have the same interests. And basically I joined just before Christmas, and so I had other people to hold me accountable to make sure that I read at least one book a month so I can get back into the flow of reading. I used to read so much as a kid. I'd read 2-3 books a day, like big books. But now I can literally see on this dining table my list of books to, my pile of books to read. And there's about 12 books there that need to be read, including the ACOTAR series, Court of Thorn and Roses, that I've borrowed off one of my clients, and I need to bloody read that because, you know, she's going to want them back at some point, so I need to force myself through those. Yeah, shower, pyjamas, herbal tea, book or good TV show. Currently rewatching Waterloo Road, which Ben has never seen, so he's quite enjoying it as well. You know, and just sit with my dogs and my husband. Obviously put Zach in bed because he talks to England and that is not relaxing, and it's always about Doctor Who at the moment. And yeah, just enjoy my evening. Low lights, no big lights, lots of candles, chill out. That is my self-care routine. This one on Instagram as well. Is it your dream job to work with animals? I mean, when I was 3, my goal was to be a vet, and I was so adamant I was going to be a vet. I worked really, really hard at school. I was determined to get into Cambridge University. And I really, really did work hard, especially maths. I'm terrible. I'm probably like borderline dyslexic when it comes. So I had to pick something else, and as I enjoyed the graphic design and fine art so much, and I got 100% for both of those A levels, I started looking at media. I was really into my rock music, really into my rock music. I was going to gigs, you know, every single month, at least once a month. You know, following bands, hanging around at the back door to meet bands and all that sort of crap. And so that basically led me to, I would like to work at Kerrang Radio because it was based in Birmingham. And at the time that was great, and I picked a media course which was like film, TV and radio. I did a little bit of film, a little bit of TV in the first year, and then it specialised in radio for the rest of it. The course was, you know, radio. And I was adamant I'd work at Kerrang Radio, and then it moved from Birmingham to London, and it became more the presenters were working from their own homes, and I didn't want to move to London, and I didn't really fancy the idea of working from my own home. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to connect with all these, you know, wonderful creative people. So that was where I got a bit stuck with my career, and I was actually a barista at a coffee chain, Starbucks, for about 8 years. and as well as Costa. I then moved on to Costa for maybe 3-4 years. Starbucks was superior, sorry guys. They treat their employees way better. And then I moved on from that to just regular retail jobs for quite a while, and then I fell into the dog walking when it was lockdown and I was made redundant. So it all turned out really well, but you know, was it like my dream job to work with animals? I would have to probably say no now. As a kid, yeah, but then as a 20-year-old onwards, I don't think it is. I much prefer doing, you know, creative things, and I would never be without a dog. You know, I always need animals at home, but I think if it was between animals and working creatively, I'd pick working creatively. And as for what my dream job would be, I really think it would be social media, so that's why I'm trying to push myself out a little bit more and branch out, and I'd like to create some, you know, content that potentially might lead to a brand deal or something one day, maybe if I can create some content without the barking. What got you into your passion for dogs and dog walking? When I was a kid, I used to go to Crufts all the time with my mom. My mom bred, did she breed them? No, sorry, she didn't breed them. What am I making? I'm making that up. My mum did not breed Cocker Spaniels, but we always had Cocker Spaniels around. I believe she tried to show them. I think that's what my brain's trying to tell me. But she was very serious about her Cocker Spaniels for a little bit. And, you know, we eventually got a Dachshund as well when I was a teenager. So my mum has always really been into her dogs, and my dad also really loved his dogs. When my parents split up, my stepmom had a Labrador cross called Bounty, who I absolutely adore. You know, I would have stolen that dog off her any day. He was my absolute best friend. I loved him very much. So I've always been surrounded by dogs. That led to me, when I was at university, I would go on my own independently to Crufts, and I've been every year for the past probably 10+ years. Yeah, you know, obviously I'll be going again this year. So it's always been around me, it's always been a family thing. And I got my first dog, which is Frankie, my pug cross. I got my first dog, Frankie, as my pug cross when I was, it was 2014, I think. So when I was 21, she was what I bought with my first proper paycheck from Starbucks. Obviously I've still got her, she's 11, she's only got one eye now, she's very old, very grey, but she's doing fine. And that led to me, you know, I've had many dogs over the years, but I definitely would say that my breed of choice is Chihuahuas. I absolutely adore Chihuahuas. I like the fact that they're small and portable. You can take them anywhere, and they're just like a big dog. You know, I take these guys hiking for like 5-6 miles and they can keep up. But equally, if I'm having a bad day and I can't get out of bed, they'll stay in bed with you all day. However, they do zoomies around the house like this all day. They're very playful. And then the dog walking, I didn't really touch on that. I used to dog walk as a teenager a little bit. My mom pushed me into it because she wanted me to sort of, you know, get a job outside of college when I was at home for the summer. But the dog walking, I fell into it. It was a girl on Facebook who is my first client's granddaughter asking, is there anybody local who is not a dog walker, who is just a regular person, who wants to walk my grandma's dog for her? And I went there, and she'd been really badly let down by this guy that was a proper dog walking company, so just wanted a normal person to help her out. And I have walked her dog for 5 years now. But that was what got me into it, was just that initial job of walking for, you know, a little old lady who, she is not a little old lady, she is an absolute badass woman. She's so much fun. I walk Anya, her Labrador cross, who is quite reactive, and Anya's got me so many clients because people see me with this massive dog. She's about 40 kilograms, and they see how well she responds to me, and you know, I can control a big dog. And I've got a lot of clients that way. I am meeting one tomorrow who's 65 kilograms, though I'm a little bit concerned about that one. It's about the same size as me. Yeah, and from there it snowballed. I started advertising and got, I think I had about 3 or 4 regular clients, and then I decided I'm going to become a dog walking company, and that from there, that was when I got my insurance. That was when I got first aid trained, you know, came up with the company name, registered myself with the council and things like that. And yeah, I've been dog walking for 5 years. I had a break of 3 months, or was it 4 months? 3-4 months, where I worked at Blue Banana, which is a clothing company in Manchester in the Arndale. And that job was incredible. I absolutely adored that job so much, and I really regret quitting, and I really regret that I couldn't carry on. But you know, not a bad word at all to say about that company. I really enjoyed my time, and I was really grateful for the opportunity, because I got promoted to assistant manager, which showed me what I can do work-wise, and showed me that I do have a brain in my head. I can work, and that sort of also gave me the push to try again with social media a bit harder and show people that I do have a brain in here sometimes, occasionally. How would you describe yourself in 3 words? I hate questions like this. I'd probably describe myself as confident, loyal, and introverted. I'd say confident because although I feel like I'm quite shy, when I think about the things that I can do, like, you know, I'm the one that will go up and do karaoke completely sober. I'm the one that will go up and talk to the stranger that nobody else wants to talk to, you know. So I am quite a confident person. I'm the one that will always give something a go. Even if I'm going to fail, I'll give it a go if I want to give it a go. And then I describe myself as loyal. I've got friends that I've had for 15 plus years. I've had them since school. And, you know, if you're a good friend to me, I will do anything. I will move heaven and earth to stay a good friend with you, you know, which when I had a friendship breakdown last year, I was incredibly devastated. It was worse than any breakup I've ever had with a romantic partner, because like, now that I've got a diagnosis, now that I've got proper medication, now that I've got some support and things like that, I'm a bit, you know, I'm upset because that friendship broke down, I feel, due to me being very burnt out and not understanding why, and not understanding my own mental health. So I couldn't give her what she needed, sort of thing, and she couldn't understand why I was acting the way I was, you know, etc, etc. It was incredibly disappointing and incredibly upsetting, and I do really miss her, but I hope that she made the correct decision and she is living life happier. And I really hope she is happy. And, you know, she got married, and I'm so happy that she got married, and I really congratulate her. It's fantastic. I only want the best for her. She was an incredibly good friend to me for such a long time, and I do really miss her, but it is what it is, isn't it? And then introverted, because I have lived like a grandma since birth. I think I've been a grandma. I will not go out past a certain time. You know, when it gets to like 8-9 o'clock and you ask me to come out, no, I'm already in my pajamas. I live an incredibly boring lifestyle, but you know what? Boring is comfortable, boring is safe. I'm a beige woman in my 30s, I would say. I still go to gigs every so often. You know, I went to see Bullet for My Valentine Trivium last month, which was fantastic, but I didn't get home till like midnight. And that took me out for the rest of the week. I was exhausted. And I do struggle socializing sometimes. Like I say, I'm very confident and I will speak to people, but then I will come home and I will completely crash, and I'll be on my phone for hours because I can't talk to anybody. Like, it absolutely exhausts me. But even though I'm introverted, like, I love nature walks. I love going out and, you know, having new experiences and things. If I can bring my dogs, I will go anywhere. You know, there's a social media brunch next month that I'm going to try and go to. That's going to be my first big girl social media event that I'm going to try and go to network and meet new people. There's also a company called Production Futures, which I don't know whether it'll be helpful for me necessarily, because like I say, I want to focus on content creation, but it's a creative people meeting up and coming together. So I think it would be good for me to go, just to like network and meet some people that are like-minded, sort of thing, and make some friends, get my name out there, sort of thing, and just get the ball rolling. What has been the hardest part of growing on social media? The hardest part of growing on social media coming up with the ideas, trying to stay creative can be quite hard, especially as it's an incredibly oversaturated market. Standing out is incredibly hard. You have to understand that your personality and who you are as a person is your brand most of the time. So you need to be okay with a lot of people giving you shit, basically. You know, you will get people that will call you cringy. You will get people that think you're embarrassing for calling yourself a digital creator or a content creator. You know, and you do have to have a thick skin. That's quite hard. You get so many people saying that you're embarrassing, but instead of thinking that I'm embarrassing, I always think, why do you think it's embarrassing? Like, you know, because I don't. Most people make content these days, so why do you think it's embarrassing that I'm putting myself out there and doing something that I want to do, you know? So that's quite hard. And then the other thing is I tend to get the followers. Like, I've got quite a few followers on Instagram now. Like I say, I've hit the 10,000 follower club on TikTok. I'm nearly at 11, but getting engagement is really difficult. Like, trying to get people having a conversation in the comment section and creating that little, you know, corner of the internet that's your own. That's what's quite difficult, I think, nowadays. But maybe it is just because like I say, I've not really branched out into YouTube yet, but I would like to make more of a thing of YouTube. So maybe YouTube's a more communicative place compared to TikTok or Instagram. So, you know, and I've just set up a Facebook page as well, where I've been posting like health and wellness tips, because a lot of people tend to like those, and one of my like special interests is health and well-being. Like, I've got a bookshelf behind me that mine and Ben's support worker said was like his office. Who, you know, he said, you've got more books here than a psychiatrist. And I was like, yeah, health and well-being is my special subject. You know, I really want to look after myself and look after my brain, etc. The amount of supplements I take a day, I must rattle, honestly. But, you know, I think it comes with when you have a mental illness, or, you know, like myself, have a developmental disorder or something, you want to do things that make yourself better. You want to do things that are going to make your life easier. So that's probably why that becomes, you know, a bit of a special interest. But yeah, going off topic a bit there, that is what I would say the hardest part of social media is getting engagement and dealing with criticism, basically, you know, and standing out in an oversaturated market. You have to make your personality your brand. You have to, you know, come up with a little bit of like a niche, something that makes you stand out, sort of thing. And it's been a learning experience, but I'm really enjoying it. You know, I'm really enjoying all of it. It's so much fun. Doing something creative is so much fun. And and you know what the hardest part about content creation so far is? Listening to my own voice when I edit. And, you know, trying to film or edit when Ben's not around, because I still get embarrassed when he hears me, which is ridiculous because I'm literally his wife. But, you know, it's embarrassing. And finally, what is a random fun fact about you? Something that people might not know about me that is quite cute, I think. I volunteered with Riding for the Disabled for a really long time. 6 or 7 months. It was an incredibly long time. I lived with my dad for a little bit. Like, I went and stayed with him when I finished my coursework at uni, and I was having to wait until I got into my Like, I got a really good education. You know what, they're just gonna play around me. I got a really good education. I love my teachers, and the school itself was just fantastic. And finally, on top of that, I have a degree. That seems to really shock people, that I have a degree. Like I say, in media. Went to Staffordshire University. Again, really thoroughly enjoyed my time there. I just wish I'd tried harder, but I think I got overly giddy at being away from home. So I would love to be able to do something educational again as an adult, to like further my knowledge in that sort of area. But yeah, I have a lot of education, and I worked with disabled people and ponies. I'd say that's a fun fact that people don't know about me. Or potentially the 6 dog thing. I have 6 dogs. That's also one that seems to shock people quite a lot. But yeah, those were all the questions that I was asked on Instagram. I only posted it this morning, so I only got a few questions. But I just thought it would kickstart my YouTube a little bit, get to know each other a bit better. If you want to leave any more questions in the comments, I'm happy to do another video like this. Maybe when the puppies aren't barking. But yeah, going forward, I'm going to try and vlog more. I struggle with vlogging because I'm not used to prepping the camera. I'm not used to putting the camera in a room before I enter it, that sort of thing. I'm not used to having to think about what frames I need, etc. Like, this is quite a bad place to film because I haven't decorated that wall. I probably should turn the camera around to my nice gallery wall. So it's all a learning curve, but yeah, nice way to kickstart my YouTube back up after Vlogmas. Yeah, I'm going to try with another, weekly vlog, or maybe I'll try with a couple of dailies first to get into it, and before I commit to a whole week. Yeah, so nice to catch up. Enjoy your weekend, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.